webinar. Hi, good morning everyone. Wonderful to see you all once again. We have almost every Saturday we're having a webinar. This is our 214th webinar since 1 year. Yesterday we were in Bhubaneswar, 2 days before that we were in Hyderabad talking about electrical safety and National Electrical Code of India. Just arrived in the morning 1:30. Now front of you sitting and conducting this webinar. So knowledge sharing has been the key strength of us, and traveling around and spreading the knowledge on safety. So today's topic is stop fire spread. Very interesting topic. How can we stop fire spread? So today we come together, a very important session focused on undertaking how advanced fire retardant and fire resistant coating can save lives, assets, and buildings. Every year, India records over 1.4 lakh fire accident. I keep repeat. We record almost 1.5 fire accident, leading to more than 27,000 deaths and multiple thousands of injuries. Just recently, a tragic bus fire accident in AP and Rajasthan claimed over 25 lives, a painful reminder that fire safety cannot be afterthought. This clearly says that we are far behind in equipment or designing our building. So most fire accident turns deadly not because of flames, but because of smoke, the collapse of material, and the lack of adequate passive fire protection. I keep saying the lack of adequate passive fire protection that we design for the building. This is where tested, certified, and proven fire resistant coating play a life-saving role. Choosing the wrong paint or coating is not cosmetic error, it's a serious safety risk. Every surface that comes into contact with electricity, wiring, or heat, such as electrical panel, MCB boxes, cable trays, wooden finishes, ducts, partitions, must be treated with fire retardant coating instead of decorative paints or enamel paints. Fire rated coating and finishes ensure that critical structure, that can be steel structure, pillars, tunnels, and ventilation systems, can withstand extreme conditions and prevent the spread of fire and smoke. Passive fire protection is the first and the most silent line of defense built into the structure, ready to contain and control the fire before it starts spreading. So let's use this today's session to understand how innovation, standards, and codes and certified coatings can make every building truly fire resistant, protecting from both people and property. Ladies and gentlemen, as I said, this has our campaign has attracted over 800 plus designers, end users, consultants, government authorities who have joined us today's session. This is the first session we are talking about stop fire spread. We'll be soon conducting a dedicated conference in Bangalore in February. I'm requesting my colleague Lakshmi, who's managing the webinar behind the screen, to highlight about this conference, how this conference can benefit all the builders, the interior designers, architects about it. So I'm going to unshare the screen, and before I unshare, I would like to introduce myself. I'm sorry, I'm not introduced myself. My name is Dominic. I'm one of the founding member of FSA, Fire and Security Association of India, founding member of National Federation of Engineers for Electrical Safety, member of Focus, Forum of Construction Utility Services. The journey of 36 years has made us to form these kind of society to create large awareness about fire safety in the country. Where be it electrical safety, be it passive fire protection, be it active fire protection. We've been involved in last 36 years. It's not just working for an organization, but spreading the knowledge, more of a societal work. So I have a very important person today, the man chairing the NINBC 2025. He's the chairman of National Building Code, V. Suresh, Vasudevan Suresh. He's the former chairman HUDCO and president emeritus of Focus. Suresh is a civil engineer from Anna University with experience over 60 years. I'm just saying his experience is 60 years before even he born. Now, okay, yeah. So I would like to introducing. I don't know. Some of them said I'm not there. Not able to hear. He has received 23 awards to cap it with CIDC Industry Joint Award in 2011, IBC Lifetime Achievement Award in 2014, and Lifetime Achievement Award by Focus. He is the president of Good Governance India Foundation for the Governance Initiative, dealing with challenges of making safe, smart, green, sustainable to work of and urban news digest. Is a familiar when it comes to construction and resistance. He is the young CEO of Amitav Technical Sound Company, and he has over years of expertise in fire protection and specialty solutions. So with this, I would like to unshare my screen and let me see whether I'm still no save as codes, please. Okay, I would invite the keynote speaker Vasudevan Suresh to give a key address. Over to you, sir.
Very happy. Good morning to all the distinguished participants for this program on Stop Fire Spread. And thank you very much, Dominic, for that wonderful introduction of not only the context and the theme, and also inviting me to give the keynote address. And I'm so happy to participate in this program, very important program, at a time when substantial amount of loss to human life and property is taking place as a result of series of fires that are taking place not only in the recent bus fires in Mumbai, plus also hospital fires, as well as under various other situations. We keep on seeing the problems there, and we always worry, can't we do something about that? Of course, we can do a lot about it, and therefore, it's very necessary that this incident should remind us that fire safety is not an event, but a continuous design responsibility for all of us. And it also stresses the role of passive fire protection, including the compartmentalization and the natural materials to be utilized and the related coatings and protection that's required as a salient and silent guardian of safety for the same. When I talk of this, I'm particularly happy because we have gone through in the year 2023-24, 2024 and 2025 so far, the wonderful work on the National Building Code of India 2025, which provides for a very strong framework for fire and life safety, which has already been doing the 1970 version, 83 version, 2005 version, 2016 version, and of course the latest 2025 version is important because it covers substantially large amount of information and coverage in respect of not only the new materials, technologies, and international best practices which are introduced to enhance the Part 4 fire and life safety. And it focuses on clear performance-based design provision, very, very important, and inclusion of fire retardant and fire resistant materials in compliance guidelines. In respect of the type of construction, this is a very important component of structural, non-structural, and finishes and services items in a very large way. And recognition of, most importantly, the passive fire protection system along with the active system that is required in buildings in a large way. And this is very important for all the fire protection professionals who are working in different projects as part of the MEPF team, as well as the fire safety regulators who are going to deal with this particulars for giving the right level of NOC for the projects. And we have therefore talked in terms of the integration of sustainability and resilience goals as an important component in this particular document there. And safety as part of sustainable development becomes a very, very important thrust area. And therefore, when a program like this is being organized on Stop Fire Spread, it's all about understanding how advanced fire retardant and fire resistant coatings can also save lives, assets, and buildings, along with the issues on passive fire protection issue and providing a holistic fire protection system that's required for the built environment. And I mentioned about the importance of passive fire protection, and this is a very major area in which assemblies are provided, contain the particular fire within a certain amount of area, so the conflagration is reduced as much as possible. So therefore, we try to bring in the right level of barriers required, including the fire rated assemblies to be done for the walls as well as into the compartment area, and also the coatings that are required for the same. Well, why are we doing that? Delay in ignition of and flame spread is a very major component once fire happens. Or it provides the occupants a valuable evacuation time. That initial thing is very, very important. And also it provides the structural integrity of the building and continuity of operation. You're aware of the 9/11. All of us have seen that one. When the whole fire took place, the whole buildings of iron and steel, the whole thing came down like a pack of cards, melting at the temperature over. The structural integrity of the building is completely gone. Even though it would have the capability of withstanding the highest earthquake load or the wind load or the structural system loads, etc. Here's a classic case where structural integrity has been affected in a very large way. So protection of structural integrity, according to me, is a very major thrust area. And in that context, that along with what you do for the types of construction for 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour fire resistance for various elements which are there for columns, beams, slabs, and various other elements, including the non-structural elements, etc., etc. And therefore, the coatings are often the most economical and easily applicable protection for both not only the new buildings, but also existing buildings. Very important. That's also an additional amount of coverage, if I may use a word. That'll be the right word to use for everybody to understand that in the right context over there, to protecting shield or whatever. Encouraging adoption of certified and tested products and regular inspection and maintenance is a very, very major component covered not only in Part 4 of the National Building Code and Part 12, Assets and Facility Management. So both these together, it provides the right level of framework to deal with all these compliance in a very large way. And it's an important, we are at a very important time. India's economy is growing in a very large way, and large amount of construction activity is taking place. As much as roughly $1.5 trillion worth of construction is going in the building and infrastructure sector. And there's a lot of initiative from the government for not only the Amrut 1.0, 2.0, smart city mission, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, plus all those infrastructure Gati Shakti programs to deal with infrastructure in a very large way. And it's very necessary that the industry and the regulators are actively involved in this particular things of implementation of the building codes as well as standard. And this will call for collaboration between the code makers that we are all being active. And incidentally, the code making itself is a wonderful process by which the Bureau of Indian Standard associates not only the all concerned dealing with the technology providers, the manufacturers, the testing people, as well as the government regulating agencies. And it's a framework in which all of them sit together and find out the right level of document. The code makers therefore keep that way. Therefore, industry should find it increasingly useful because the industry has been associates part of the process. And more importantly is the professionals, the mechanical, electrical, plumbing, firefighting professionals dealing with not only all the systems there, including the fire protection system there. And for the first time, the qualifications and competence of the fire professionals also have been put in the National Building Code. Very, very important. It has not been happening in the earlier version, but latest version really has brought out that particular thing so that it can translate NBC 2025 from a wonderful policy document into a practice document. It's very necessary that how do you really make that happening at the ground level situation over there. It also encourages the training and certification for applicators, contractors, and designers, because all have to put their idea. Designers alone is not enough, but how the people are going to apply that issue equally has got to be fully aware, and with hands-on experience and technology implementation capability at the delivery end is equally important. And therefore, it's equally important for us to advocate the performance documentation and including third-party validation of coatings used in the critical projects, like I would say hospitals, schools, data centers, transport systems, etc. Very major area. And we are keeping on seeing how very sensitive youth are very badly affected. Young infants getting died, and people in the ICU and the hospitals, they can't even move around, dying in the hospital system. Many school children having in the fire accidents taking place, dying over there. Also in major office spaces, data centers, and transport system important. Just now I talked about the bus related issue in a very large way. Of two major incidents happening in less than about 2 to 3 days in between different parts, geographies of the country, that's happening over there in a very large way. And therefore, I would believe that the context of the emerging infrastructure development that we have, the rapid transformation is taking place, high-rise buildings of a very large nature. We are no more talking of a 15 or 20-story building. It's all there earlier. It's gone to 20 to 40-story, 40 to 60 or 80-story. And the building code makes provision on dealing with all those dealings with the high-rise buildings on the fire protection system. Very, very importantly, very well covered there, including the structural design issues for tall buildings also have been brought in over there in the thing. And the metro systems becomes an equally important component. Tunnels, airports, hospitals, data centers, and other transport fleets, another one equally important for us. And therefore, it highlights the need for sector-specific. That's important. Each one of the sector requires a specific level of application area, and how do you deal with that is an important component there. And therefore, sector-specific fire safety guidelines provisions are there in the code to deal with that. I remember on the hospital layer, special appendix have been added. Metro system, special things have been added. Data center, special information has been added into the building code provision in a very large way. And therefore, integrating the passive fire protection system ensures resilience against heat, smoke, toxic gas, which is a very major area of problem propagation. As a matter of fact, larger deaths are happening as a result of smoke-related toxic gas and smoke-related propagation than the temperature or the fire itself. So, very necessary that all these have got to be really taken into account in a very large way. And when I was asked to participate in this program by Dominic, I readily agreed to do that because of the very importance that's happening of the whole country is now looking at the whole issue of not only electric safe or Vidyut Surachit development or a fire safe Bharat, which is also being done in a large way. In addition to life safety, structural safety, public safety, this fire safety component and electric safety component becomes the two important components which are there. So therefore, when I deal with part 4, I told about part 12 also. Part 8, section 2 on electrical safety is an equally important one. There's a good talmail between the provisions there on fire safety and electrical installation and the related components also in a very large way. And therefore, I would believe that we will be able to reinforce India's vision of safe, resilient, and sustainable built environment if we deal with the whole thing in a very integrated manner. And I'm also very happy to indicate that the code gives additional muscle, if I may use a word, of making provision part 2 of the national building. I didn't make a mention of it so far. On administration, it talks in terms of periodic electrical audit, fire audit, and structural audit. Structural audit in a larger time period, 10-year time period, but the other components much more shorter period of 3 years to 5 years time period, whether all your installation, electrical installation, or your fire safety installations, all these particular things are in a good working condition and continuously they are being operated. There are no problems or setback there, so that all these things come as an action, preventive action that we bring it over there. And as I said, along with the link it with part 12 on assets and facility management, complete list of checklists are available for dealing with each one of those aspects on electrical safety as well as fire installation safety coming in a large way. And therefore, these audits will also help us to understand where it's like the building health performance assessment. And if it is good, well and good, because the builder is already gone, the installing people are already gone. Now, occupiers are different, either residential users or hospital user, patients and doctors there, school children as well as teachers over there. So, but there are people who are going to maintain that building over there. So the professionals have got to ensure that the people dealing with the assets and facility management, they should be able to ensure compliance in a very large way. Compliance, how can it come? All these provisions which are there in the building code, they should be ensured in the design, construction, installation, and commissioning stages, as well as in the post occupancy certificate based post operation maintenance related one as an important. And this, anything that you do in that is going to be investment. It's not going to be a cost at all. It's going to be investment for life and be giving the right level of credibility and trust for the people who are going to occupy in that particular building in a very large way. And I personally feel that these things will come in a large way of a techno-legal regime. Namely, those technical provisions come in the regulatory framework. So you'll be able to ensure at two levels, compliance at the level of professionals and builders and developers and constructors in a large way, and most important, enforcement at the level of local body on the other side. And they will be able to ensure if the right level of compliance is made and continuously being maintained over there, the enforcement authorities also find increasingly easier when they come to see the particular thing at regular intervals that they are being maintained. So compliance by the builders, developers, and professionals on one side, and the enforcement on behalf of the fire and local body authorities become a very important component to work together. Now, I think the right time, the technology provided group will be coming, and I'm very happy that Aditya will be giving detailed information on some of the interesting products which are there to providing the fire spread, etc. And these are areas where a lot of emerging technologies are there. We got to keep continuously interact with these one. And our whole idea is the practice should provide for all these new emerging technologies which can be there, which can help us to provide not only the passive fire protection as well as active fire protection and the additional strengthening features that can be put for the same. Now, a time for a call for action, and that is let us make the fire safety intrinsic to design and not as an afterthought later. And that's exactly what I was telling. Do it early. If you do that earlier, you will always be able to provide for the particular thing or the right level of the fire safety and life safety for not only the occupants of the building, but also the local body as well as authorities to ensure that the right level of services can also be provided for such buildings in a very large way. I'm happy that I'll be able to talk, and I'm happy there's a good number of people have registered. That's a very happy augury. I would encourage them to see good participation in the Q&A session specifically so that you'll be able to get good response coming on that. And by the time the NBC 2025 comes into real application, these are all initial areas of trying to lead you into the whatever new elements are going to come over there, so that the industry, the designers, professionals, and the constructing team are all entirely prepared to deal with that. And so also at the level of the authorities in a large way. So let me compliment Dominic for the good initiative that he has taken over there and calling me over there. And I wish the proceedings all the very, very, very best. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. That's a wonderful insight on new NBC 2025 is going to be launched very soon, and he heading as a chairman of the new NBC 2025 is given the little insight about what is going to come on the background of so many fire accidents are happening, how the technology is going to evolve, how the new entrants are coming up. So before I begin our interactive session, I have a few requests. Participant, we have a Q&A box at the bottom of your screen that you see. There's a Q&A box. Please put your question only in Q&A box, not on the chat box. It will help us to read out clearly if it is in Q&A box. And also, those who wish to talk online, you can just raise your hand, and probably at the end of this session, so this will be almost 1 hour sessions, one and a half hours. So I would like you to remain there now, raise the hand and don't unmute and don't mute and go elsewhere. I will call out your names once you raise your hand. If you want to ask any question to the panelists who are sitting here. And I also like to tell you that our keynote speaker, Vasudevan, is in Delhi. He's attending National Urban Conclave, which all the state government chief secretaries are assembled in Delhi. He just pinged me up that he's leaving, and after addressing this keynote, he is going to address the chief secretaries of the state. So you can imagine the importance that is being given in urban development by the state government, by the central government. So, moving forward, our young Aditya is very excited after hearing our keynote address. So, Aditya, to begin, following Sri Vasudevan Nair, Suresh keynote, can you share how coating, I repeat, how coating truly acts as the first line of defense during the fire, and whether it is the structure itself or the surface protection that saves lives? Can you enlighten more on this? If you have anything to share, you can share through the PPT, but people are quite keen. How does it really protect?
So, good morning, everybody. My name is Aditya Sibal, and I'll be representing my company, Amitoff Technical Paint Industries. And we are the leading fire protective fire resistant coating manufacturers in India. We are here for the last 36 years. And so, to answer the question, so fire can reach up to 1000 degrees Celsius within minutes with the help of flammable surfaces available in the building. and a fire can start from a short circuit, a cigarette, or any known gas leakage or anything. So the type of paint used on wooden structures or any gas leak can ignite it even more, and making it the temperature more than 1000 degrees Celsius. And as we all know, steel loses its strength at 550 degrees Celsius, which means a structure steel building will start losing its strength within minutes of fire starting, and ventilation ducts will start melting and won't be able to extract smoke properly. And this will not only lead to smoke buildup and not people not being able to evacuate in time, but also the bending of a structure can lead to a collapse of the building. But if proper fire resistant or fire retardant coatings are done on structure steel, ventilation ducts, wooden panels, it will not only restrict the spread of flame and not even start the fire, but also provide 2 to 4 hours of insulation, which will make crucial time for the evacuation to happen and active fire measures like fire sprinklers to take place and even fire safety officers to arrive at the building.
Oh, Aditya, very interesting point that you made. Today, in the participant, you see we have almost, as I said, we have 800 plus participants there today, and some of them are broadcasting in the architectural organization. They are broadcasting. That's what I got a message. Some of the participants are broadcasting to their whole colleagues who are sitting. They are from Phoenix Mills. There are good number of people coming from Phoenix Mills, a lot of structural engineer. So what you said is such an important that at 500 degree, the structure start weakening and start bending, whether it's steel or wood. So can unprotected steel, you said it's 500, wood or cable really withstand that fire of 1200 degree, and those so-called, we have fire resistant cable and all that. So really, can it unprotected, I said, in your testing, your experience in the testing also, the collapse happens at 500 degree, you know.
Yes.
Can you highlight, sir? So Ashok Sibil sir, आप जो
Yeah,
बोल रहे थे?
actually, for fire retardant, for wood, we have to have fire retardant coating instead of fire resistance coating for wood. Because wood itself basically is not a thing which means if we do normal paint, it will spread very fast. You know, all big fire, it start from very short, either short circuit or some, as Aditya said, cigarette or some very small fire source. If we are using normal paint, they all are 90% normal paints are solvent based paints. They are nowadays solvent based fire retardant paints are also available. This is a new technology which is available in India, and rates are in comparison to normal paint, almost same rates are there. So you can protect your
So,
even
I'm
no,
sorry to interrupt. What you're saying is this fire retardant paints are almost equal to the any enamel and any ordinary paint.
no, not that. Actually, no, the price difference is hardly 200 rupees per liter or kg. That is very nominal in
Negligible.
comparison to normal paint. Yeah. So, but that is the basic source. If we are using enamel paint or powder coating or some oil-based paints on electrical panels. So, in case of short circuit, spread of flame will be too fast. If we are using fire retardant paint, it will not allow flame to spread. And second thing, how it work? It create a non-oxygen zone around the fire area. So if the oxygen is not there, it will not allow flame to spread. These coatings are now available for fabric also, for curtains, for anything. You can just spray it. There will be no non-toxic, no smell, nothing. It will not allow flame to spread. For wooden
So,
surfaces, for electrical cable, for steel structure, for ventilation ducts, lot of people die because only of smoke, not because of fire. So the
so what
smoke
I
extraction.
understand, what I understand, you have supplied your paint to the new Central Vista. There is new
Yeah,
parliament.
new parliament building, Central Vista.
All
Also,
this,
we are
all
doing.
this, which means our new parliament is really safe, whether it is fabric, wood, and
Yes,
structure.
yes.
It's protecting the the many what do we say, the heart of India, that is our new parliament. So very wonderful to hear. So I have one interesting question on understanding a little bit about fire coding technology. So for our audience, I would like to I would like you to explain the difference between fire retardant and fire resistant coating. What is that distinction between these two important testing and certifications?
Fire resistance means temperature will not rise on the surface.
Okay.
Because on wooden we don't require that. For wooden doors we take fire stop doors and just apply this fire retardant coating on that, because wooden fire resistance door fire stop doors are already inside, they have done insulation over it. But on metal surface we need fire resistance coating, because metal is a highly thermal conductive material. For
Mhm.
ducts we need fire resistance coating. For all
Okay.
type of surfaces where temperature rises fast, there we have to use fire resistance coating. But for electrical cables we do use for 30-minute fire resistance for integrity of the. Otherwise for all the surface, for fabric, for
Mm.
wooden, and for say means for plastic surfaces also UL 94 is the test standard. They all are fire retardant. Means it fire retardant means it will not allow flame to spread, and fire resistance means it will not allow flame to spread, as well as it will create a fire barrier between the metal surface and this fire. Lot of people are mis-selling it. Uh, so fake certification is also very bad thing in India nowadays. So these are few things. So anyway,
Sir, my question to Aditya, I have a question to Aditya. How
Yes, sir.
does instrument coating actually work? This ability to expand from 50 to 500 times their thickness to create an insulating char barrier. So, you would like to answer that?
yes,
I
yes.
don't
Yes, sir.
know.
Actually, yeah, actually, I am in this line for 35 years. So it's
Okay.
actually intumescent. There are three type of coatings.
Mhm,
One is flame retardant, other one is intumescent, third one is ablative coatings.
mm,
Intumescent coatings means in case of fire, they create a barrier. It can be up to 50 time, can be up to 100 time. But nowadays, what we have observed in labs, so many labs are there. So we are into research also. We are doing a lot of R&D work on that. That if coating is swelling too much, it fall down very fast because of the air pressure inbuilt the
mhm,
surface. So ablative coatings like 3M and Hilti, they are making ablative type of coatings. And
mhm,
worldwide also nowadays ablative coatings are more popular and reliable for fire resistance on structural steel. They create very less amount of swelling, means swelling or intumescence on the surface.
mhm.
So uh,
Your voice is not very clear. I think you have some internet uh, breaks there. Sir, I have one question: is why is independent third-party testing from agency like CBRI or NABL and other international certifications are critical to ensure genuine performance and safety are assured? Can you tell me about that, sir?
Actually, lot of agencies are there in India. Those are giving certifications. In India, CBRI is also having these labs standard as per BS and ASTM standards. NABL labs, there are 2, 3 NABL labs available in India. Then
Mhm,
government agencies, basically wherever you are getting tested. I suggested Mr. Suresh also earlier in meeting. So we should basically nowadays lot of people are uh, I'm sorry to say, means they are selling their product on fake certifications. So that is very bad thing. This is something need to be stopped, and they said they will do it or something.
Yeah.
Certification means we are getting certification, but it has to be authenticated from the issuing authority that this certificate is reliable or not. Some people are changing those parameters on the certification because customer is innocent. Customer don't know much about. Sometimes some companies are selling fire retardant paint instead of fire resistant paint. So these are few things that these are the challenge that need to be taken care for betterment.
Sir, Aditya, you have, I'm sure you must be having some kind of presentation to make, especially on the steel structure. If you have the thickness of 3 mm, for 3 mm thickness or 8 mm thickness, how many hours of protection or resistance that can give? Do you have any information on that, Aditya?
Yes, sir.
Do you have
So,
anything
sir,
to share as a PPT?
no PPT is present, sir, but I know this question very well. So, sir, if a coating has a thickness of 3 to 4 mm, it can resist fire up to 4 hours. We calculate it by the 4 hours, yes.
3 mm coating of resistor can give you 4 hours of.
3 to 4 mm can give you 4 hours of critical fire protection on structure steel. And but if you think that more number of coatings can be done and so that more fire resistance can be achieved, so that is not possible because
Mhm.
more you coat, the more intumescence or ablative coatings have the tendency to peel off in case of fire because the weight of the coatings become more. So in case of
Mm.
fire, the coatings start to peel off, and even if a small part of structure steel is exposed, the whole beam will suffer because the heat is conductive and heat will transfer from that small crack and spread through the all through the beam. So a 4 mm coating can protect up to 4 hours, but an 8 mm coating is bound to fail in
Oh,
more than 30
very,
minutes.
very interesting. You said people generally think keep coating, bring it from 4 mm to 8 mm to 10 mm, thinking that it can give. But what you're saying, very important, the more it can collapse because of the weight that expand. Yeah.
Yes,
So
but
another
nowadays,
interesting, because I do fire audit, a lot of fire audit for the building. The
yes, sir.
fire fighting pipe, the hydrant pipe that goes around the building and everything. I
Yes,
have
sir.
seen the thickness of enamel paint that they keep coating every 3 years. Generally they have to peel off and again apply the primer, then paint. But now, when you said this, my curiosity is if if firefighting pipes are coated with enamel of say even 3 mm, that itself carry the fire. It becomes firefighting pipe becomes carrier of the fire. So what
Exactly,
is
sir.
is it right practice to do the enamel paint on the firefighting, and what is that technology that available today?
The enamel paint anyway should not be done because at this point we have at the similar costing we have fire retardant paint, which is a 200 rupees more expensive, but it does remove the need for the primer. So in end of the day, it's not that much of a cost. And also it has smoke suppression properties. So instead of doing enamel paints, which is flammable by nature, every 3 years more enamel paint is being done and that will become even more carrier for the fire. So the spread rate from even a small point and even from a cigarette under the fire hydrant pipe can cause a full power collision, and hydrant pipes spread everywhere, so the fire can also reach everywhere due to that small mistake of using enamel paint and recoating it again and again after 3 years. Instead of fire retardant can be done, and every 3 years or 5 years you are, if you are recoating, you are making it more protective because the tendency is to retard. So that does not apply to that 10 layer because jitna more you coat, utna more it will retard.
So to my all our participants, we have wonderful participants. Most of them are consultant designers. What Aditya is saying, your firefighting pipe which is painted on enamel, it's very dangerous because even cigarette butts come into contact with these enamel paint can cause fire, and it can carry the fire everywhere. So if your building has this firefighting, just check with the contractor or AMC guys whether are they using fire retardant paint or just an enamel paint. Enamel paint is as good as you applying petrol on your cloth and saying that I'm protected. Not true. That's it's a eye-opening statement that you're making, that the cost of that paint, fire retardant paint, you don't need to apply a primer in that. So because this acts as a primer and also the paint, there's hardly any difference. 200 rupees or 250 rupees, even if it is 500 rupees difference, still worth, because it's protecting. It's not a fire carrier. It's very important topic that you touched upon. I have another question on the electrical. In electrical systems, there is for Ashok Sibal sir. Uh, in electrical system, how does coating prevent short circuit? You've seen that yesterday there was a fire in Mumbai. Very large fire in Mumbai. I think every week we have very large fires happening in Mumbai. But the bad end of the investigation, due to short circuit, the panel were not protected, panel gave away, the sheet gave away. So even the recent yesterday there was a fire in Mumbai. So how does a coating prevent short circuit? Fire and reduce the release of smoke and toxic gases. Can you tell us, sir?
Yeah. Actually, first of all, coating normally short circuit starts from electrical cables. So we are because a lot of old buildings are there in Mumbai, and even in industrial beds, there are a lot of old cables are there. And now new cables are fire retardant. They somehow protect to a certain extent, but these old cables, they are fire carriers. In case of short circuit, the rubber which is on the layer of this cables, that is highly flammable. In case of even small short circuit, that rubber on the cables that allow flame to spread and all the fire spreads, because in nights mostly these things happens in short circuit fires 99%, or even but if we do fire retardant cable coating, these coatings are basically, our coatings are certified by CBRI Roorkee for all the IEC 331, 332, 383, all the standards, integrity and flammability, UL94, all the stuff. So these coating basically, in case of fire, if there is short circuit, as I earlier said, they will allow non-oxygen zone around it. They will not allow flame to spread. If the flame is not spreading, just by putting this coating, you can protect your whole building. The coating cost is nothing. It's hardly 650. So, and other thing is that cable tray where your these cables are lying. So you can protect that this trays also. So for to make it all the these because sometime in small fire downside and the cable melt down, so all the cables, this live cables, they also come down and this short circuit happens. So cable
How
tray
about protecting the electrical distribution boxes, the steel supply? Can you also protect the?
Actually, yes. Actually, all the panel electrical boxes, they are basically short circuit is a very common thing in electrical panels. So if we earlier we were doing normal enamel paint, then we started doing powder coating paint on it. So we have fire retardant powder coating also, that will not allow flame to spread on the same technology, as well as solvent base fire retardant coating that can be used so that in case of fire, fire will not spread through those panels, and they will give you the same finish as normal paint. Finish wise, you can get the same finish on polish, you can get the same finish on this normal paint, powder coating finish also. Everything is nowadays available on the very nominal cost, and all the products are certified by Government of India lab and other patrons.
Sir, I have
Wherever
a lot
you
of.
think, wherever
So
you think this, yeah, please go ahead.
I have a lot of participants from the hospitals all across India. Uh, you know, as I do again audit for the hospital, uh, the critical doors of the various lab, whether it could be a laboratory, it could be ICU doors, it could be OT doors, or any door. The existing hospital, I'm talking about existing hospital, without changing the whole structure of the door. Somebody says you make all these are a fire door, remove this, buy a fire door. A functioning hospital is very difficult to change the door, but hospital wants to protect these doors, existing doors. It could be a patient and room door. It could be exit door. Can you tell us whether your technology has, helped the existing door to be painted and make this as a fire door, a fire resistant door? Can you give that?
I will use
Because
two
lot of
sentence.
hospitals. Yes, sir.
I will
Go
use
ahead,
two
sir.
sentence. One is something better than nothing, because you don't have
Yeah.
fire resistance door and you are not doing coating also. So if
Hmm.
you are doing coating, at least you are saving that fire will not spread. Fire will not stop. I'm not claiming that fire will stop with the coating, but it will not allow flame to spread. So that will also give you lot of means prevention. What we say, prevention better than cure. After doing that, then you do all those things, don't go. Just if you don't have budget, if you don't have means not possible in old buildings, just go ahead with the coating.
Hmm.
On old coating, you just need to remove the coating. If it is not possible, then we have that coating that will blend with your old coating. Just apply 2 coats of that. Lot of hospitals in this Ahmedabad and Gujarat side, we have supplied our clear coating. They have used that clear coating on normal polish finish, and they are so happy that flame is not spreading, and cost is also very economical to them, because by this way they have prevented that. In
Hmm.
Gujarat, they are very particular about, and they means most of the hospitals they have used our coating, this clear coating over it.
So you mean to say the clear coating on their existing door in hospitals?
Existing doors, clear, as well as on polish, they can use clear coating, and a normal paint they have done, they can use our fire retardant paint over it, and it will protect it 101%.
So you mean to say that existing doors and windows or even the curtains, fabrics in the hospital can be made fire protected with your
It can,
simple coating?
yeah, it will not allow flame to spread. No? This is what we have demonstrated to you also earlier.
Yeah, Aditya, this is I'm taking a little bit off from their real to come to reality. Let's
Yes, sir.
take this, the bus accident which killed 20 people. The entire bus gutted in 20 minutes. Entire. Okay, there was no chance even for people. First of all, if you've seen the sleeper coaches, you
Yes,
know,
sir.
very narrow. Only one person like me, I have to, I can't walk in that passage in the bus, sleeper buses. So I have to, turn and walk on the sideways. So imagine people like me in the bus. There's no way that I can run and get out of the hospital. I think a lot of people died because they're unable to get out of the hospital. Now,
Yes, sir.
let's take that as a case study. If a bus of such nature, by using all this technology of paint, how you could have prevented if that given to Aditya to design and what you will do? How will you protect that? The passenger buses.
So, sir, the Kunnur bus fire accident, that was mainly because of the accident caused by the bus driver and the biker, which initiated the spark in the fuel tank and that spread the flame across the whole bus. So the fire was fueled by the synthetic material present in the bus, which was the foam, which is the seat made of the fabric, and nothing at all was fire protective. Not even the seat covers or the curtain present. So what happened? What happens is that the the fire was started from the fuel tank, but the smoke spread across the whole bus. And the reason of death is also fire, but also smoke. Because of smoke, people can't see. Because of smoke, people panic. And but if the so let's start from the beginning. So if a fire stop barrier, which means a compartment which does not allow smoke or fire to travel from another room to another room, was present in that area, the fuel tank would have been on fire, but the fire would have been spread into inside the bus. And inside the bus, let's see at the fabric used on the seat, the fabric used on the curtains. They could have been fire
I
retardant
agree
sprayed.
with you on that. So if the fuel tank was covered with one layer, which is a completely fire protected shield over the fuel tank, that could have stopped fire spreading.
The
Ashokji,
compartment,
yeah, you have something to say, sir?
Yes, actually, fuel tank is a means flammable material. You
Yeah,
cannot protect that fuel from fire. You can
but sir,
only, yes, outer layer you can, if there is any fire on this, that is also not, I will not advise that. That will, because after some time, lot of grease and other things will deposit on that. That will catch the flame. And on fuel tank, we have tested for Mahindra and Tata Motors, and we came to conclusion that for that we have to make some other arrangement that we will separately discuss, because if we by coating it is not possible, sir.
hmm Okay, go
And
ahead, Aditya.
foam also, this PU foam, that we can also make flame retardant by adding some flame retardant material in PU foam. But completely we cannot. There is Raxin over it. Raxin is not fire retardant. We have to manufacture fire retardant Raxin that can be used. Our coating can be used only on wooden part, only on steel parts, on electrical cables, not on this
Uh,
Raxin is.
I read the Aditya's article on that fire accident, which you said, those fabrics and the curtains in the sleeper coach could have been
so
fire. So,
They
Aditya.
they are basically flame retardant. When you wash it, it will all goes. We have polyester coating that can be used on this fabrics, cotton as well as polyester fabrics, but they are not permanent. If we want to make it permanent, then we have to create, means we have to manufacture that fire retardant polyester fabric, not
Now, my
normal
question
fabric.
was, yes, the fire do happens and all this. There should be enough time for the passenger to evacuate. Passengers to get out of the bus. If you can protect that whole structure inside the interior of the bus and delay the fire to come inside and the smoke to come inside, you can save lives. Bus, it may burn, but can this technology that you're talking can give us the time, say 5 minutes to 10 minutes or 15 minutes for people to.
Evacuation. This is what we have suggested in railway meetings, because a lot of accident happen in railway bogies. So
Mhm.
the same type of they are using normal PU paint or normal epoxy paint outside of the bogies. We have given demonstration for fire retardant material instead of normal paint. So that is one source of the. And inside also they are using paint. Sometimes they are using water-based paints. They are means up to some extent they are preventing it, but most of the area need to be taken care. And yes, you are right that we can uh, at least allow for 5 to 10 minutes time so that evacuations happens. That can be done by putting coatings inside uh, over the whatever surfaces are there. That will allow flame to, means they will not allow flame to spread very fast. So evacuation can be possible, but 100% protection we have to make fire retardant this Raxin as well as fire retardant foam.
Sir, we have two, three more questions because I can see a lot of question answer, questions from the audience is coming. They're all waiting for us to
Yeah,
take
please,
up their
please,
question.
please take
And
the
we have
those.
Jyoti Ramalingam, who has their own lab. He's saying that Indian Railway has been using fire retardant product and furnishings extensively. So we will take all those questions after completing. I have two, three, so we can briefly, finish a few more because 36 here we've been talking about awareness, why we must use, why, so for me it's a very, very important, whatever that 1.5, if we can spread the knowledge properly, if we can tell them that there are technology available that can protect lives and property, you know, I'm so, happy that the message is gone to all the audience. So last one, not last one, I have two more questions for Aditya. How do fire stop coating and sealant help to maintain compartment integrity and control smoke leakage during fire?
So, sir, there are fire stop barrier systems available which
Mm,
use fire resistant coatings and uh, sealants to prevent the smoke to spread from one room to another. And these are applied usually onto designs such as floor to floor if you are going through a pipe is going, which and then it is surrounded by the sealant so that the pipe extensions are covered and no smoke can be traveled from floor to floor. And wall to wall if cables are transferring, such as in data centers. So no
mm,
smoke can travel through those cables, and those cables are also protected with fire retardant coating for cable.
mhm. Good.
These
So, yeah, go ahead, go ahead. Please.
So the fire stop barrier systems have usually five products, which are the fire resistant mortar, sealant, insulation wool, fire resistant cable coating, and fire resistant mortar sealant. These
Mhm.
all are used collectively to stop the spread of smoke and also stop the spread of fire from one room to another. Basically, compartmentalization so that one room remains safe and if the other room is in critical situation.
Ashokji, with your 35 years of experience, you've been doing a lot of research and you set up your own research laboratory in Delhi. And my question to you is, do you believe fire coating should be become mandatory for specific occupancies under NBC 2025, particularly in transport, healthcare, high-rise building, and public places like airports, railway stations, malls? So do you believe that NB should make it mandatory? Because it's a guideline. Always NB is just a guideline. Do you think they should strongly recommend this? What do you say, sir?
Yes, it should be recommended because earlier technology was not available. Nowadays, technology is available with the because earlier fire retardant paints were not giving good finish. They are water based only, and nowadays they are uh, as good as normal paint. So
Mm,
we can safely use those materials for even our own house that
mm-hmm.
because a lot of in Delhi and other areas, gas pipeline is going on in all the houses. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
chances of fire are too high, and multi-story buildings are there. So
Mm,
every third day, heard some bad news about fire, and so if we have those things, because I'm surprised to on yellow paint they are using on gas pipeline. That is also fire carrier. And
yeah. I mean, gas lines in
as
there.
you said, hydrant pipe
Mm,
are meant for fire stop, but they itself a fire carrier because we are using an enamel paint over it. So we can safely use these products, and there is no harm in using this. As far as the life of paint is concerned, that is also same. As far as the finish is concerned, they are all, that is also same. As far as the life of the coating, they are much higher than normal paint. So ultimately, cost will be less in comparison to normal paint, and they will give you better as Ditya said and Suresh sir also said, lot of people die because of the smoke, not because of the fire. These coatings basically they basically suppress the smoke.
mm.
Normal enamel paint create the smoke. So if we can make it mandatory for instead of enamel paint, if we use this fire retardant paint, it will be very good help for fire prevention, and we can save thousands of life. every year.
So we have a lot of project managers also participating. So from your experience, what are the most common mistakes made during selection and application of fire coating at project sites?
Actually, there are two type of things. One is, as I said, fire retardant and fire resistance. These two things that need to be taken care while selecting any product. We have to have means fire retardant means it will not allow flames. A lot of people are saying using fire retardant material on steel structure. This is not
Hmm.
that is not required, because if we use fire retardant material, steel itself not catch flame. What is the use of that? And fire resistance is required because the critical temperature should not reach 550 degree. That is so that evacuation time. Second
Mhm.
thing, sometime awareness is not there, because people are not aware that these type of coatings are available. Mm, most of the people go for aesthetic views, but these coatings are can give aesthetic view of this ins- earlier they had impression that fire paints are only for wherever it is recommended use that. You can use anywhere and it will help your building for prevention and the life of the coating, and the building will also means you can at least peace of mind will be there if we use this method.
You, your technology or your product used in the new Parliament building,
Yes.
which represent the people leader, they represent us in the Parliament. And how does your coating has played a key role in achieving fire safety compliance in these kind of projects?
I tell you, we have not only supplied this coating for this parliament, for all the central vista buildings, all
Oh.
executive complete center, executive enclave, and many other confidential buildings where we are supplying and using it. They thoroughly check, they thoroughly, and they keep a lot of agencies are involved in while selecting these coatings. And Make
Mhm.
in India product, it's a Make in India product. So they, and moreover this, we supplied for this railways also for the tunnels, Ircon and the Concon railway. We supplied for this even for Foxconn we are supplying nowadays, for
Apple
Microsoft,
manufacturer.
Apple, yeah,
Oh,
and many big players are there. We are L&T is our major customer. Even Jewar Airport nowadays we are doing coating over there. So
so happy to
every
see make in India product. We have so many Jotun and so many. I've seen the imported paint, so-called imported paints have been used in and with this I am saying that indigenous technology when it
yes,
comes
yes,
to
yes, yes,
coating
yes.
is now available in India.
Very economical, indigenous.
Economical. Your message is, don't use enamel paint in all the critical rooms or, structure. And you have this available, make in India. I'm sure the government also must be appreciated. And they have used in, Supreme Court, and that's a testimonial, I would say. So what I'll do is, there are a lot of people have, lifted their hand to ask you a few questions. Then you have almost a good number of Q&A. So we have another 20 minutes to go. I will. So those who are raise your hand, please be there. I will be unmuting and requesting with your name.
So
I'll
there's
call
one
out.
more point.
Yeah,
So there's
go
one
ahead.
small point I just need to make about the small mistakes taken by the consultants and architects. So, sir, what I have in my experience is not much, only 1 year, but what I've seen is that people go for substandard material just for the budget cuts, which is, i.e., vermiculite coatings. We have seen that many people prefer vermiculite over water-based coatings, even if the atmosphere there is more marine and requires anti-corrosive and more fire resistant. Vermiculite is a cheap coating because it's been running from the British times and has no guarantee of not peeling off in terms of fire when fire is in touch with the when seepage happens, it tends to peel off from the surface. And but when we suggest our products such as water based or our new technology such as silicone epoxy technology, water based coating also act like fire resistant coating, but our new technology which is silicone epoxy offers both corrosion protection along with fire protection, both serving the same purpose. So you're mute, but yes, they serve the both
You're saying both corrosion and fire protection
fire
in the same
resistance.
way, fire resistant.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll quickly take up the questions.
Sure, sir,
People
sure,
have
sure.
raised. I have Rakesh. I have Rakesh Kumar Ram. I will unmute. I'll ask you to talk. Please go ahead and ask to unmute. Yeah. Yeah, Rakesh, can you go ahead and talk, please? Can you unmute and talk? Okay, the person is not there. Biswajit Rana, please go ahead and talk to the panelist. Biswajit Rana, can you hear me? Biswajit Rana, can you hear me? Please go ahead and talk. Okay, I will move on to Jayant Deshpande. I am allowing you to.
Am I audible?
Yeah, Biswajit Rana, please go ahead.
No, it is Jayant.
Okay, yeah, Jayant, please go ahead, Jayant.
So two points I want to just want to share with you. One of the points what Aditya claimed was 3 mm is sufficient for 4 hours. I think I need to rephrase that. What you confirm that saying 3 mm is sufficient. It doesn't work that way. The system work is based on the what type of structure it is. So I think you need to have a background check and then come back on that part. The second one, what he was conveying is substandard material being vermiculite. If that was the case, then past 150 years or maybe 200, this product has been used all over world, including India, all the government projects. Your central secretariat 667 is being done with the same product. If that was the case, they would have not used it, right? So instead of commenting on that, we need to just come back to what are the correct solutions for correct type of building. Intubation vermiculite both come from the same industry and they have this particular areas where it is being applied. So that's my point. So when you talk on this kind of platform with 800 participants, no, we need to have the background thoroughly checked before conveying all those points what we are conveying. I think that's it. That's my point.
I'll ask Ashok Ji to comment on that. Yeah. Ashok, please go ahead.
Deshpande ji, namaskar. This is Ashok Sipal. Yeah. Sir, we have never said that this vermiculite. Actually, vermiculite is an old technology. You must be agree with that.
Sir, agree.
Vermiculite nowadays actually
नहीं आप जब पब्लिक प्लेटफॉर्म पे जब बोलते हो ना कि सबस्टैंडर्ड मटेरियल है और जब भी वर्ल्ड में 90% project.
Sir, let me
answer.
Let me answer, sir. I will give you proper. Let me. Sir, vermiculite, you must be agree, it's an English time technology. When there was no intumescent coating, no silicone epoxy paints were available. We are also there in 6 and 7 for fire resistance coating. 8 and 9 we are also there in Central Vista. In both projects we are there. And we have convinced these authorities also for the same that we can use vermiculite, but instead of vermiculite, if we have other products available, so that can, because we have developed a new product. Actually, when we say 4 hour, it depends upon the actually this is a short platform that we can sit sometime. I know your Mr. Sura also, we discussed a lot in Assam meeting. What we when we say for this 3 mm 4 mm thickness, is that depends upon the layer metal thickness and the heat parameters that we have calculated. Then only on the roughly we have claimed that. And second thing, vermiculite. Vermiculite is a old technology, and your company is also doing intumescent coating. So you can easily understand that if other products are now available on cheaper rates, why not we go for those products? Because vermiculite peel off chances are too high. I have seen in so many buildings. I can share the photographs of the vermiculite which has been peeled off within 2 years or 3 years. In Noida, we can see a lot of buildings are there. So anyway, we will discuss on a separate platform on this part.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
That will take offline, and thanks for clarifying that. I will request Rakesh Kumar Ram, if you are there, briefly you can unmute and talk. Rakesh Kumar. Okay, I will. Jyoti Ramlingam is there since morning, and Jyoti, I will allow you to talk. Would you like to say a few words, or do you have anything to convey?
Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, Mr. Dominic and Mr. Sibbal. It was a very interesting seminar. Thank you very much for organizing it. Just wanted to highlight a few things. Just that the Indian standards for this specific intumescent paint is absolute. It's obsolete. The IS
Okay.
17044 2018 is a very, very old version which has been just adopted, and we have been asking BIS to put take it up in the committee and bring it up to date like ISO 834 has part 1 to 21 specifically for different applications for paints alone. Unlike that, 17024 is just a 5-page specification which is giving nothing. It's, I think, from 1960. So any paint or any product which is supposed to be fire resistant is as good as the testing it goes through. So there are standards, international standards. Let's leave Indian standards for the time being because they are yet to be updated. So any product being sold in the market has to be tested as per some contemporary international standards. Eventually, we will have Indian standards for it, yes. But as on today, I think a ASTM or a EN or a ISO is a better standard to follow for testing because they are very vigorous, and any product that can qualify that can be safely used and it will prove to be a lifesaver. That's
I
about
agree.
it. Thank you very much.
Good, sir. Thanks for recommendations.
Agree.
And
100% agree, sir. 100%.
yeah, Mr. Jyotira, even if you have anything that to be given to BIS or to the chairman, you can forward the recommendation letter and how we can come closer to the international standards and all that. It always, and if you look at BA, there is a website called BIS Care. They also have a app on BIS Care. You can download most of the standard from BIS, and there is also a section for improvement of suggestion and improvement on standards. Using that BIS Care, you can give your comment. You can corrective measures can be suggested through that portal. It's called WWBIS Care. So I would urge you to talk. So I have Pallavi before I take up the question from the question and box. Pallavi Mukherjee from Mumbai, who's the fire auditor. Please go ahead, Pallavi.
Yeah, can you hear me, Dominic?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Dominic. Thank you, Mr. Sibyl. I have three questions. First is, are these coatings eco-friendly or non-toxic? And second, how can Indian government or building regulations encourage the use of this fire retardant coatings and fire resistant coatings? And ideally, what challenges your implementation team will be facing? I mean, in actually putting these coatings on the products.
Go ahead, sir. Ashok, sir.
Thank you, Palvi. This is Ashok Sibbal. Actually, these coatings, there are two type of coatings. One is solvent based, other one is water based. Solvent based is eco-friendly, and VOC is less than 5, which is required for any green building norms. Second question was related to What was her second question, sir?
How can Indian government or building regulations encourage use of these products?
Actually, what I think you might have heard Mr. Suresh comments on passive fire coatings. Nowadays, now we try to include all these coatings in 2025 NBC codes. Otherwise, also they are there in NBC. If you go through that, these coatings are very much there. So you can safely these coatings for NOC purpose if you use these coatings. So you can easily get. Third question was related to uh,
Challenges you face in implementing this?
mm, sorry, what
What
was
are the
the?
challenges in implementing this in
I
projects?
don't think there will be any challenge. It's only just means these coatings are basically good for your building. There will be no challenge if you use this coating. You are not doing anything. If you are using enamel paint, and instead of enamel paint, if you are using this coating, this is betterment. You are not giving any bad finish or something like that. It will give you just like a normal painting thing, and there will be. I don't think. There will be any challenge, and cost wise there will be no, and any normal painter, any normal person can easily do this thing. There will be no
So,
means
in short, you say you don't know a very specialized applicators.
nothing, sir.
Only the no. That's the challenge that we have today. Applicators,
If you go to
so
USA and Europe, you will find fire retardant paint everywhere. They are using almost everywhere. So why not in India?
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Rates are too economical.
sir, I will take up the questions. Okay, I hope you can see this. I will remove the unwanted questions. So, Prakash Kamath, for industries, fire officers insist RCC staircases, structural staircases, fire retardant paint permitted. So, while RC staircases are permanent fire retardant, what is the life of fire retardant paints in general? He's asking what is the life of the fire retardant paints?
For RCC, we don't require fire retardant. We need fire resistant paint on RCC structure. Because if we
Okay.
use fire retardant paint, there is no use. As he said, that fire retardant basically that will not allow flame to spread. RCC is not any. So they actually normally fire officers they just use the fire retardant, but technically it's a fire resistance. They want to say you use fire resistance paint on the, because in case of fire, this staircase chances, because these staircases are normally emergency staircases. So for metal as well as for concrete, it is mandatory to use fire resistance coating on the both surface.
The anonymous attendee is asking if the NBC, the new NBC is already implemented. Nothing. It's still on the draft stage and is expected to be released. NBC 2025 expected to release very shortly. So there's no firm date has been released, but it should happen. So Mr. V. Suresh also said that it is very shortly it will be released. So Sambandam Chokapa is asking what are the material or chemical is made of these fire retardant coating, and please explain their fire retardant properties, please. So he wants the technology to be known.
These are basically phosphate-based technologies.
Mm-hmm.
So when the phosphates comes in the contact with these other chemicals, so they create a char or create an insulation barrier, and the char will basically deoxynize that area, so that oxygen will not be there, spreading will not happen, as well as char will create a barrier type of thing for insulation purpose, and flame will not spread, and the insulation barrier will be there.
Sir, Manoj Naina is asking two questions. Aditya, appreciate if you can answer. How can a normal person identify spurious or a genuine product? That is one. Second, what about the health hazard of these coating, an area of concern for EHS professionals? To you.
Sir, so sorry, sir, what was the second question?
Let you answer the first question. I'll ask you, how can a normal person identify spurious or a genuine product?
So, sir, companies like in our field, in our industry, it's very important for us to have proper certifications from proper accredited labs such as NABL accredited labs or CBRI labs, which ensure that your product performs and will deliver the performance in on-site performance. And other than that, believing those certifications, you can also go for on-site random testing. Just taking a bucket out of any warehouse and testing it on site and upon a burner or flame and testing whether it can retard or resist fire up to 2 to 4 hours, whatever the client's demand is. So these two methods would be best to identify a genuine manufacturer, such as random site testing and proper certifications from proper labs.
Okay, second question is, what about the health hazard, the side effect of the coating? So it's a concern of EHS professionals. Yeah.
I don't think there's any health hazard, but
Ashokji, for you, what do you think? You're on mute, sir.
Like you are basically when you're using enamel paint, the hazards are same in enamel paint as well as in fire paint. Both things are same. Only fire resistance properties are inbuilt in this fire retardant these coatings. As far as the solvent based coatings, as if we are using water based coatings, they are eco-friendly, non-toxic. We got it tested also for toxicity of these paints. There is no toxic contents we are adding, so there will be no health hazards for. So you can safely use for even childcare.
So Praveen Vijayan is asking, we said that 3mm can give between 3 to 4 hours rating. Is this, do we have anything to prove or there's any tested test certificate to prove that 3mm can give?
Actually, 3 mm, what we have said, that is for 15 mm thickness I-beam section. That normally we use for column and I-beams. So
I-beam.
I-beam and columns. So that has been tested for 3 hours. We have our own laboratory also, as well as from government laboratories also. We got it certified. And this, as we told you, we have two type of these coatings, 3 mm for our fire resistance. One is ablative, other one is intumescent. So both are working fine, but not for vermiculite. For vermiculite, if you want to go for 4 hour fire rating, it should be around 40 to 50 vermiculite coating thickness is required for to achieve 4 hour resistance.
There's one more anonymous saying that 8M structural construction fire coating requirement as per the NPC. What is the height restriction in
15
8M?
meter. 15 meter.
15 meters, 15 meters.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And in last question, HP oblique is the ratio, basically heat parameter oblique area of cross section that need to be checked before applying any coating thickness. What we have done, get it done, that depends upon that three side of fire.
Another question, can ablative paints can be used for structural steel fire protection?
yes, sir.
Ablative paints can be used for fire resistor, and it should be used because they are the most reliable. 3M and Hilti and a lot of foreign companies, they are also using ablative coatings only instead of intumescent coating. Chances of this fall down of the intumescence layer are too high in comparison to this means in intumescence chances of ablative coatings are too high, so that they fall very fast. And if the ablative coatings they are doing, so that they will claim the insular, create a insulation barrier as well as fire resistance. 3M is the best company in the world. They are using the same thing.
Okay, sir. Now, Prakash Kamath is asking a couple of questions. Is the fire retardant paint is available in signal red color? Is it available in signal red color?
So any color, any shade is available if the quantity is high. Because we are the manufacturer, so it's basically the pigment that needs to be added.
Okay. Second is primer. If primer is not required, then how many coats are recommended?
2 to 3 coats on hydrant pipes for a fire retardant paint are must. So as I told you earlier, the more you coat it, more fire retardant you are making it. So, but we suggest 2 to 3 coats at the beginning.
So, what is the life of the normal enamel paint? What is the life of the normal paint?
Enamel paint needs to be repainted about in 3 to 5 years, and the same, or it can be used for more our fire retardant paint, but we also recommend to get it recoated within 5 years
Mhm.
because it's just adding it to the purpose of making it fire retardant. Only one more coat is required.
Okay, Matthew Joseph is powder coating fire retardant, or fire resistant is available. Yes, Mr. Ashokji has already said it is available.
Yes.
Okay, so Kavya, we had applied fire stop barrier in walls of cable gallery in power section. But some point, due to some water leakage, the fire stop barrier got spoiled. He's talking about in the year of 1991. Is there any better development on the fire stop? Sir, question to you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Ashokji.
Actually, yes, sir. Actually, fire-stop barrier normally is a combination of five things: sealant, mortar, insulation. These are the end coatings on the cables. So nowadays, fire-stop boards are available. They can use board instead of mortar. So board will create, and over the gap, they can use our organic fire resistance sealant that will be long lasting. Means normally fire stop barriers work for once it's done, it's for whole life. They are not meant for 3 year, 5 year, or 4 year. These are for complete means life of the build till build. So they can use our fire stop board over it.
So Apurba is asking, when fire hydrant or a sprinkler pipe is always charged with water, the fear of transmission fire is not realistic, but she's not understood what you're talking about outer portion of the pipe.
That's
What we're talking about outer side. It's not that though water is inside, the outer side of the pipe, when keep on applying on the enamel, the thickness it can carry. So can you just little bit elaborate on that, sir?
Actually, inside there is a water, I agree, but outside is a so flame will spread from outside. It will not go to inside. So there will be no means if they use it, it will definitely give protection because that is prevention always better than cure. You should stop every reason of fire spread. That should be there so that you will be mentally safe in case of fire.
So last two questions, last one question I would say, what is the comparison of volatile component in this painting and normal paint like enamel?
Hello.
What is the comparison of volatile component in this painting and normal paint? Is wants to compare and answer.
Almost same.
It's almost same.
Yeah.
So there
Because
are
the
questions.
solvent portion is a volatile. Basically, for solvent portion should be there. Otherwise, if we use normal paint, we have to add solvent. In this coating also, we have to add solvent. But in this coating, when solvent evaporate, only the ballast part will be left. and that balance part will be fire retardant. And in normal paint, balance part left is flame spreadable.
Okay, sir, we are running out of time, so Q&A. We keep the questions keep uh, coming in. So we have almost completed our target of 1 hour. Now it's moved to 1.5 hours. But what is astonishing is all the participants still there. They're not dropped out. Normally we get our webinar after 1 hour. Being Saturday, they want to spend time with family and friends. Now, so happy that they are there still, and they would like to hear more and more. But unfortunately, the time duration was 1 hour 30 minutes maximum. We have crossed that, and we have your information. We have your contact details, and my colleague Lakshmi has been sharing Aditya's contact details and. Sibyl Sir's contact details and also their website. Please go and look. You can download, and there are a lot of videos that I could see in their website about how you test it, like random tests, how you do. It's a very useful website they have. That's called amitaf.co.in. Please do visit and write to us. You can send your question to us, which we can forward to our panelists to answer. We will keep coming back again on this pacifier. As I said in the beginning, we are doing India's first dedicated pacifier, advancing passive fire protection conference in month of February in Bangalore. And we will have one of the best speakers from across the world there. And we already started registering delegate for that. Please do join. As a Blue and Gray, we've been doing a lot of conferences and seminars on safety. This will be a great opportunity for all of you, those who are interested in passive fire protection, to join us. And we have a limited seat. We can't exceed more than 200 seats. And we already have 35% since last 1 week. We've been telling about this conference. Already 35% of seats are already occupied. So do join us, and we will be coming out with next. There are a lot of webinars coming up on measurement and another interesting next Friday and Saturday we have two webinars. So thank you, Ashok ji. Wonderful to have you faced
Thank you
some
so much.
wonderful questions, and Aditya, the young man.
So much, sir.
Thank you everyone joining us, and
Yeah.
really wonderful questions we have received. And this is a basically knowledge sharing session, and I really appreciate the questions raised by the guy. And Mr. Dominic, thank you so much for
So
giving us
Arpita,
opportunity.
requesting to allow her to talk. She has 1 minute. She's been requesting. I am Apurva. I am allowing to talk with the panelist. You can unmute and please talk to them.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Though my name seems to be female, but I'm Apurva. So I hope you remember me. We attended your session recently in Mumbai. Okay.
Yeah.
So sir, what I actually wanted to ask to Mr. Kapil,
Ashok.
sorry, Ashok, is so one question is that do you have clear finish paint for this decorated material, like in mall and all? You would be seeing a lot of plastic elements being used for event and decor. Do you have clear finish material or paint application for that?
We have clear finish that you can safely use on even plastic, some plastic grass and plastic flowers and other things are there. You can safely use on that. You can safely use it on polish area, wherever you have done polish and you want to make it flame retardant. So you can apply 2 coats of it. It will make it flame retardant. There will be no change in the finish of the your panel or wood or doors. Nothing. It will remain same, and this coating will at least give you means something better than nothing. Means it will give you feeling of that, and it works that flame will not spread from that area.
Okay, so I'll connect with you, sir, later through your team. Okay,
Yes,
if
please.
someone is there in Mumbai. Second
Send that.
thing,
Yeah, tell me,
yeah.
go ahead, please. Last.
Second thing is, see, what your representative was saying for this fire hydrant and sprinkler pipes, they would be a carrier or transmitter of heat and fire. So, really, in buildings in India, there are no dry riser and all. Okay. So, it is actually impractical to say that it will transmit fire or heat. Why I'm saying so? See, there is a big subject of fire stop solution, that is your through penetrance solution. And in all those solutions, while testing as per ASTM in UL or FM laboratory, they always consider those metal pipes as they will not fail in the as far as integrity is concerned. And there is no intumescent seal at all around this applications or penetrants are also considered. So this system even is tested in the laboratory for 2 hours. So as such, there is no hazard or risk I see. So I think this is a great forum where these all are being discussed. So we really need to relook at it as far as the water line is charged. There might not be any issue as such, but yes, the life of the pipings, as you were saying,
Not
enamel
life of the
vis-a-vis that
piping,
code.
sir. Sir, sorry, sir. I think you have taken it actually, what we said, it is spread of flame. Means that will, if we use enamel paint every 3 years, it will basically increase the thickness of enamel paint over the pipe layer. You imagine that, and if there is any small fire in the ground floor and your pipe is going to 34 floor, 35 floor, so that pipe itself will be a carrier. Outside of the pipe you are doing paint. I'm not talking about fire resistance and other fire stop barrier systems, and because these pipes are basically going on the high rise, and most of the buildings basically where you are putting this hydrocarbon material or fabrics or something. So if we, instead of this normal enamel paint, if we use this paint, this is not going to cost you too much. We are just saying preventive measure.
So I would request you to, please analyze this further, because to be very honest, I don't see merit of this explanation as far as metallic pipe in a building, because even lab also, they are not talking about any paint. If it is a metallic pipe, okay, let it be MS or GI, they considered in the testing without a paint even, and it sustains for 2 hours. That is what we actually require, not more than that. So
I think
analyze it. Yeah.
what Ashokji is saying and what is, it is two different subject. And what you are saying, we are not talking about melting or the pipe becomes weak. There's nothing to do with that. It is about the carrier. Flame carrier is what we are discussing. I think we'll take this off record and we will discuss.
Yeah. That should.
I have witnessed the test of this, where the applied enamel paint, how it carries from an external pipes of fire hydrant. Main hydrant pipe is carrying this. I have witnessed this. So what we are trying to explain is it's the outer portion of the pipe. It has nothing to do with what you're talking about UL testing or ASTM. That is nothing to do with this what we are trying to explain. But yes, Mr. Ashok Sibal will connect you directly. I'll share your contact
Sure.
details. We
Sure,
can
thank you.
So with this, I would like to, everybody's saying, Aditya, PPT would have been nice explaining and some few videos. The next time, I think Aditya Sibalji, come out with a nice presentation with
Awesome.
live tests that we have done. So many of them saying it would have been nice so that we could have seen the presentation and also some of the tests that we have done. I think we will come back in next 1 month with more clarity and PPT with the testing of various material for more convincing. So, but however, there are a lot of appreciation for Ashokji and Aditya for being an indigenous product Make in India, buy India, use Indian product is what a lot of messages coming. Many more people are appreciating because nobody has spoken about this subject of fire fire stop spreading or stop the fire spread. So we'll come back again on this subject probably in the month of December, early January. More clarity and more, specific on one particular section. We can talk about only steel structure for 30 to 40 minutes. How steel structure can be protected, and another one is duct. Is a big subject. So
Yes,
there are a
sir.
lot of HVAC contractors, HVAC people are there. We can talk about only that. So it will be nice to. Today we covered in general, I would say. So we'll come back with a specific subject, so with more clarity, comparing with standards and all that. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for coming and participating on weekend. We will revert back with more details and feel free to contact us. So thank you, Ashok ji and Aditya
Thank
for
you so
joining
much.
us. You have a
Thank you so
wonderful
much, sir.
weekend. Yeah. Stay safe. Look forward to see you again. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so much.
much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.